What's going on, gamers? With Bungie just announcing in September 26 patch notes that the Necrochasm wasn't doing enough damage, so they fixed an issue where Necrochasm's Cursed Thrall arc explosion dealt less damage than intended to combatants. So with them patching this, is Necrochasm good for endgame? I mean, that's what everyone's wondering, because with Crota being the newly released raid, everyone's trying to get their Necrochasm, they're trying to hit the jackpot, get the catalyst done, get that outlaw procced, and just, is the weapon usable now? So I wanted to test if Necrochasm could be used in daily gameplay, and of course it is. I mean, it's Necrochasm, everyone loves this in D1, and in D2 it is pretty cool. The reason why is you have desperation on the weapon, reloading after a precision final blow or a final blow with a cursed thrall explosion increases your rate of fire, so you're going to get that faster RPM. Remember, this is an auto rifle, so we're gonna be stunning champions. So with barriers, it does feel good ramped up, and also proccing that cursed explosion is doing arc damage, so we could do some really cool things with this. The intrinsic perk of the weapon is Curse Bringer. Precision final blows with this weapon trigger a cursed thrall explosion. Final blows with a cursed thrall explosion refill the magazine, so it kind of procs the ammo. It is noticeable when you get this ramped up and you're getting that ammo and being able to proc explosions. So with the catalyst, precision kills greatly decrease reload time, so you're going to be reloading, proccing Curse Bringer, and getting desperation when you reload to get those rate of fire increases. What you guys might not know is this weapon works really good with Arc and Strand subclasses. I wanted to demonstrate on the Warlock, mainly because we are running Arc Warlock this season. It's actually really good for endgame, and we can make ionic traces on any Arc subclass with using Spark of Discharge. Arc weapon final blows have a chance to create an ionic trace. The Cursed Thrall explosion is Arc, so this weapon can make ionic traces. And if you're running something like master content, like a GM or something, you can actually run a fun build like this and be able to destroy all champions. Now we're going to be taking advantage of using Jolt to proc ionic traces as well. So since we have Spark of Discharge on, I'm going to be using multiple weapons that are going to make ionic traces. So with running a loadout like this, I'm able to run Necrochasm, stun an anti-barrier champion with an auto rifle, a fusion rifle, iterative loop, that is going to stun unstops, and also it's arc, so it's going to make ionic traces, and the brand new Song of Ryut machine gun to stun overloads and make ionic traces as well. So pair this with Fallen Sunstar or Geomags, and you're going to have some really good fun with this. We all know that Arc Warlock is very fun, making ionic traces and chaining your abilities and your Arc Soul buddies and your melees and your grenades, and this can just be really good in endgame. I tested this, as you see here in the footage, in a couple of endgame activities, and I was having a good time with it. Being able to proc this explosion and make those ionic traces with Necrochasm. Again, it's kind of a niche build, but I really just wanted to showcase. So it all comes down to, is Necrochasm worth using again? Because Bungie just tweaked it. I do think that they need to buff it a little more, because we have so many guns in our arsenal that we could just put on and absolutely destroy champions. But knowing that you can proc this Cursed Thrall explosion, make some ionic traces, I think that you can also have fun as well. Running a build like this, it's going to be simple, just being able to stun all champions, get your arc final blows, and make those ionic traces. And what's really cool, when you get the Necrochasm ramped up, it's going to be noticeable. And what you might not know is this actually works with Strand and necrotic grips. Everyone knows that we're running Osteo. We're having a really good time with necrotic grips and Osteo, fan favorite. Put the Osteo on, stack it with necrotic grips. I've even seen people using Thorn. But what's nice about Necrochasm is that you can body shot to proc the perk. As you see here in some of the clips, I'm proccing the Cursed Thrall, and as soon as I reload and I go for that body shot, it will cause the necrotic poison to be applied, and boom, explosions everywhere. So now I think this should be a change that should be implemented on this weapon, period. I know a lot of people say, well, just aim, just get the precision blow anyway, but me personally, I think once you have this perk procced, you shouldn't have to get precision kills, because when you're playing in high-end content, sometimes things are a bullet sponge and you might not have enough bullets to get the precision kill. That final bullet might kill it with a body shot. So I think Bungie could just make the perk different, because this is the gun that everyone sought after, because it's the newest raid weapon, and I would like to see more people use it. I mean, this was an iconic weapon in Destiny 1. So seeing the footage, how it works with necrotic grips, I think it could be a really good ad clear weapon. We all know it's fun when you hold to consume your shackle grenade and activate Weaver's Trance. Final blows while Weaver's Trance is activated creates a suspending detonation. So when you're stacking that with necrotic grips and being able to proc Necrochasm's explosion, this could be really fun to use. But again, you're also running it on a Strand Warlock, and you might have to switch it up and run like a Strand machine gun, and it might not be able to take advantage of the whole arc build, just like you were seeing in the arc run, of being able to take advantage of all of the perks, such as Spark of Discharge. Having Spark of Discharge on to create those ionic traces was kind of fun. I mean, we all have fun with the arc Warlock builds this season, but I felt like I enjoyed the arc Warlock build more because I was using Necro as an ad clear weapon, but I was also switching my weapons, being able to use my fusion rifle or putting on like a Forbearance for ad clear, making more ionic traces, and then having that machine gun for straight DPS. But again, you can't go wrong with stacking this with necrotic grip. So what do you guys think? Do you think that Bungie did a good job on buffing the weapon, or is there more tweaking? Have you been using it in your builds? Are you still chasing it, finishing your Crota runs? I just think that, you know, this could be a good topic to be talked about, just to know that, is Bungie doing the right thing on making guns like Necrochasm good, or are we just coping because we miss guns like Anarchy and they were so overpowered? I know I miss that. Good old days of Anarchy tags and grenade launcher spamming and rapid fire sniper spamming, you know, those were the days. I just wanted to show you how Necrochasm was good now in builds, but I will throw the dim links down below in the build I was running on my Arc Warlock and Strand Warlock if you guys would like to copy it. And I appreciate you guys watching. Until the next time, gamers. Peace. Oh, now you guys run, cowards. I mean, the ionic traces from Necrochasm, I mean, it's pretty nice. I mean, it's not like game breaking, but